Yes, I work for Cell Care, and we are a company that collect cord blood and cord tissue for saving stem cells for future use if you need it, if your child or yourself became ill. So I'll just tell you a little bit about Cell Care. We are a company that's been going for 9 years, and we've been doing collections for 8 years, and we have approximately 13,000 cord bloods collected and frozen in our main office in Melbourne at Heatherton. We are owned by two very philanthropic gentlemen, one of whom is from Adelaide, and I'm extremely proud of that, and the other gentleman is from Melbourne. They believe absolutely in the science, as all of us who work for Cell Care do, and both of them are on other. One is on the Burnett Institute board, and one is the Dame Elizabeth Murdoch board. So they are very, very philanthropic, as I said. Now, does anybody that's sitting here today know anything much about stem cells? No. Okay, a little bit. Good. So what happens is either the obstetrician or somebody like myself would come when you have your baby, and when the baby is born and the cord is cut, they will hand you the baby, you have the baby on your chest, and then whoever is doing the collection would just step in and cannulate the cord. And we have a closed system where the blood just flows directly into that. Nobody feels any pain at all. There's nothing associated with that. And then when the placenta is delivered, if you are doing cord tissue collection, which I will talk about shortly, when the placenta is delivered, we would then, or the obstetrician would take a 10 centimetre piece of tissue for storage also. Now, I'll just talk a little bit about the cells that we get from the cord blood. They are called hemopoietic stem cells, and there are also stem cells there are cells in there called regulatory T cells. Now, primarily at the moment, welcome, come in, just have a seat. Primarily at the moment, the hemopoietic stem cells from the actual cord blood are used for the blood disorders such as leukemia in children, Fanconi's anemia, a host of them, too many to sort of say. So they are specifically in the cord blood. So in the cord tissue, there are what we call mesenchymal stem cells. Now, our entire bodies are made up of mesenchymal stem cells, and we know that they can regenerate all sorts of things from bone, blood vessels, cartilage, and you may have seen actually something that was on TV in Adelaide recently about having it injected, not by us, but there was a short promo, people having stem cells injected into the knees to prevent them from having to have a knee replacement so early. So there are a myriad of things being researched at the moment. So the TGA approved us collecting the actual cord tissue in April last year, and it gave us what's called a family license. And so while today there are no approved therapies that we can use those mesenchymal stem cells, there are scientists all over the world doing studies and research, and it is believed that they will be really great for autoimmune diseases like diabetes, MS, all sorts of nasty diseases. So we have only done 3 releases from all of the cords that we have stored, and that to me is wonderful because that means that there have not been many children who are critically ill. What I'd like to talk to you about, though, number one, in December last year, Cell Care began a 5-year type 1 diabetic study in conjunction with Westmead Children's Hospital. Westmead are doing the research. Cell Care are paying for this 5-year study. Another reason for me to be very proud of my company. What it has shown in animal models is that, and I'm specifically speaking about mice, if a mouse is born of a type 1 diabetic parent, if they wait until the mouse gets type 1 diabetes and they give the stem cells as a transplant, nothing actually happens. But if you follow the mouse and take blood from it, as soon as the autoimmune antibodies appear, if you give the stem cell transplant then, that it has negated, stopped the disease or made it much less than you would usually expect. So what we're doing now in this 5-year trial is trialling that, and we will be following children who have a first-degree parent of a type 1 diabetic, and every 12 months we'll be doing blood from the child, and then if these autoimmune antibodies appear, they would then, if everything is, the trial is great, if they fit into all the criteria, then they would go to Westmead and have a transplant. So what this will mean, if this works in humans as it does in animals, is that these children will actually be given a quality in their life, and also the huge amount of money that would be saved by healthcare around the world. The other thing that came out just about 2 weeks ago is a trial that was done overseas for children with cerebral palsy. America has been doing trials for stem cell transplant with cerebral palsy for quite a while with good results, but their trial wasn't as well done. They had a problem that they didn't assess the children first. They did quite a lot of children where they gave the transplant first. So to do the trial correctly, the overseas one has, and it's just been reported. So they did a placebo group, and then they used that drug EPO that we've all heard about with the cyclists that they're not supposed to use, and then they did the other one with EPO and stem cell transplant. And it has shown conclusively that stem cell transplant in children with cerebral palsy has shown an increase in the child's cognitive ability, in their fine motor and their motor skills. Now, these stem cells that we used in that trial are called allogeneic, so that means that they were donated stem cells. So the trial stated if they were autologous, meaning from the child, then we would expect that the results could be even better. So are there any questions that anybody would like answered? No? Okay. I've just been asked about donation. Unfortunately, in South Australia, we don't have a public bank. There are times when you can donate, when the public hospitals are doing research, but I know at the moment that all their facilities for storage are full, and so at this time you either collect and save for your own family, or you throw it in the bin, which is to us tragic. What I'd like to say to all of you and anybody, if you get the information about storing stem cells and you think this is something that I would like to do for my family, we will do our very best to be able to tailor a package that allows you to do that. And by that I mean the cost of storing is obviously, there is a cost. We're a private company, but we will tailor something so that if you would like to do it, we will do our very best to make sure that you can.
I'm delivering in a public hospital, and I understand that in SA Health won't let them do the collection.
Yeah, no, I'll just talk about that. I've just been asked by a girl who's delivering in a public hospital. SA Health has rules that none of their staff are allowed to do collections, and so we have a network of collectors, myself being one of them, and so we're available 24/7 to go out and do the collection for you. If you're a private patient, generally your obstetrician will do the collection. Not always, but please be assured that there is always somebody that can come and do the collection for you wherever you may be. And we cover all of South Australia. So thank you for that question. So, yes. I've just been asked about the basic cost. So what we do is we have either a 25-year term, which means the term from collection is 25 years, or we have an 18-year. So if you were collecting cord blood and tissue and you wanted a 25-year term and you wanted to pay it up front, that's $5,500. If you were doing, and that lasts for 25 years without any further payment. If you were doing just cord blood, it's $3,500 if you wanted to pay it up front. But you can, as I said, there are many, many plans that can allow you to pay it off. You can pay a small amount and you might choose to pay an annual fee for storage, or you can have a 1 year or 2 year plan to pay that larger amount off. So that's still called an upfront payment. But we will do, however you tell us you can afford it, we will do our very best to make sure that we can have that done for you. Okay. Yep. The rules for donating cord blood, I've just been asked, are they going to change? The only way that they can change at the moment is if the government provides the funding to set up a state bank. So I guess we'll say no, not in the near future anyway. So I'd like to thank you all for coming, and please do the Pied Piper and follow me back to our stand, where you can enter your details in the hope of winning a free collection. Okay, thank you.